Welcome to the latest episode of the Motorvait Supplier Showcase. I'm Neil Smith, CEO of Motorvait Automotive Consultancy, and in this series I'm sitting down with the innovators, movers and shakers behind the UK's most exciting automotive businesses, whether they're game-changing startups, industry disruptors or established legends. We'll be diving into the latest digital and physical products currently shaking up the UK vehicle retail space. If it's making waves, we'll be covering it. My guest today is Elliot Smith, founder and CEO of CarBuddy, the world's #1 automotive omni-channel solution, mathematically and scientifically tested to maximize customer inquiry, conversion and satisfaction by 18 months of testing hundreds of thousands of automotive transactions, with 25,000 hours of data analysis creating the ultimate AI-generated solution. Welcome, Elliot, and thanks for being my guest on this, the latest episode of the Supplier Showcase podcast. Elliot, I sat a demo of your product a few weeks ago and was impressed by what it had to offer. To enable our viewers and I to get to know you a little better, a regular feature of this podcast series is the guest icebreaker. So please tell us 3 interesting facts about yourself, 2 of which are true and 1 that isn't. We'll then let the viewers dwell on this during the podcast, and I'll ask you to reveal which are true and which is false at the end.
Interesting. 3 interesting facts. Okay. I love getting the maximum out of automotive dealerships, whether it be for the stakeholders or the customers alike. I don't know how interesting that is, but there you go. I did an Ironman last year, and I love ballroom dancing with my wife.
Brilliant. A very diverse set of 3 facts there. Just to enlighten me, what does an Ironman consist of?
That is a 4-kilometer swim, 180-kilometer bike ride, finished by a marathon.
Right. Okay. Well, that certainly makes you a far fitter person than I am. I say my exercise regime is wandering down the garden to the cabin every morning. So, yeah, putting me to shame there, Elliot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Elliot. We'll allow our viewers to ponder this during the podcast, as I said, and I'll ask you to reveal which was fake at the end. So, okay, let's learn a little more about Elliot Smith. Tell me about you, your background, and how you ended up where you are today.
Yeah, so I worked in the automotive industry for 12 years, well, still do, 12 plus years. Essentially started in the communications center, wearing headsets like this, making inbound, taking inbound and making outbound calls, booking in services, making outbound sales calls, trying to book appointments, that type of stuff. I then moved on to into the showroom, started selling cars. I then moved and progressed through different dealerships, both sales exec to showroom manager, senior showroom manager, or transaction manager, depending on what the business calls it, to head of sales, then to head of business, then divisional head of business, and then obviously, directing a suite of dealerships, if you like. And then founded CarBuddy. And here I am today. Do you want me to give it all away? Tell you everything about CarBuddy, where it came from?
Yeah, we'll get on to that. But it's really interesting to learn that you've worked yourself from the ground up, as it were, within that sort of automotive environment. And typically franchise side, that's where you've been working, is it?
Yeah, all franchise, primarily. Well, I worked really for Citygate Automotive, which is based in the southeast of England, 30 dealerships across Volkswagen, Skoda, Seat, Cupra, to Kia, commercial vehicles, quite a range of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that would be new and used. Were you responsible for both in those environments?
New and used, new and used, rental, leasing. Yeah, the whole suite.
Yeah, the full gamut. Excellent. So that's the experience there. So in terms of setting up CarBuddy and what sort of prompted you to do that, give us a bit of a background there. What made you sort of move into this space?
Yeah, so for a long time, obviously, it was becoming more and more challenging to make money. It's always been hard in the automotive industry with lots of overheads, lots of different costs. But it's more about where people and their buying was going and what people actually want. So what people want is they want immediate information. They want it in the format that they want it in, and they want it to be as factual as possible. So essentially, if customers want things immediately, they want it factual, and they want it in the format they want it, that means the expectation for sales execs, service advisors, is that they are fluent in WhatsApp, they are fluent in SMS, fluent in email, willing to be on the telephone call. So essentially be this kind of Swiss Army knife of communication. But most importantly, these CRM systems in themselves, per dealership will have circa 2,000 for longer standing businesses with higher retention rates. They might have, upwards, up to sort of 5,000. The biggest we work with is sort of 7 or 8,000. And actually, how can a series of 7 or 8 sales executives or 3 or 4 service advisors ever be expected as these Swiss Army knives to give these customers immediate information in the way that they want it and make sure that it's factual? So what that meant is, with the launch of conversational AI, and not to kind of go around their whole IT houses, but essentially, AI, artificial intelligence, is a very broad brush. You ask any IT company, do you use AI, or, and they'll go, yeah, we use AI, and everyone will make that claim. What we focus on is specifically conversational AI. What we do is we plug into CRM systems, we plug into databases, whereby CarBuddy can read the notes and essentially communicate with customers both inbound and outbound using WhatsApp, SMS, telephone, chat, whatever it might be. And the whole point of it is, and where the solution came from, is with the cutting of costs, national insurance rates going up, overheads going up, utility bills going up, it's becoming tighter and tighter for dealerships. How can they maximize customer engagement? How can they keep in touch with their customers? And how can they keep the sales flowing? The best way of doing that is through conversational AI. And we've developed a platform, a solution in which follows the whole automotive cycle and does just that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And look, I think what impressed me with the platform was I've seen a number of AI conversational tools, chat tools, which are great at handling that inbound conversation and shaping that communication with the customer and getting that customer further down the funnel. What I liked about your system was that emphasis also on the outbound journey, though, in terms of using AI to do that outreach to existing customers, customers that may have not bought but are on the CRM. And I think your point is 100% valid around the CRM, number of records on a CRM. I mean, if we go back to my days in Imperial before AI existed, we would generate 18,000 inbound inquiries a month. We were selling 2,200 cars a month, but we knew we were physically unable to give every inbound inquiry the attention it required. And clearly probably our biggest failing was our retention, because being a used car independent, we were just relying on pumping as many inquiries into the top of funnel as possible. And we traditionally, when you're doing that, the sales execs have got no real motivation to actually keep in contact with customers or lapsed customers over a period of 1, 2, 3 years. So for me, the automation that you're offering on outbounding, be that sort of events or, I mean, I'm doing your job for you now, telling everybody what you do, Elliot, but in terms of
I'd
the
give it away, Neil. No, that's all
the
right. Yeah.
resolicitation piece, the renewals, and that's probably something to talk about now, because that's what I've seen you do different, really, to the other businesses I've spoken to. So give us a little bit flavour around that outbound piece.
So definitely. And when an inquiry comes in, you said 18,000 at Imperial. If you could turn round to all 18,000 of those customers and say, we're going to follow up the inquiry, we're going to, we're going to inform you when you're due your first service, second service, third service. We're going to inform you when your warranty comes to an end. We're going to inform you when you're due to renew your finance agreement, and we're going to keep in touch with you throughout. You know, no automotive business can make that promise, right? It's impossible. But now obviously we have that solution in place, you know. So where is it particularly? And the great thing about it is it can be adjusted from the dealership side, because so in example, if there's more of a focus on things like buying cars or looking at appraisals, they could they can they can say that, just drop us an email and say, we, you know, our buying has gone down. We really need to generate some stuff in, which means that what we would do is carry out campaigns for all lost sales, so that they would receive communication flows basically asking them, we may not have been the right business to buy a car from. However, we can, we can look to purchase your vehicle. We do unbelievable prices. We'd love that opportunity. So you could do that, for example. But what the great thing is being able to really keep in touch with people that are in your database. So when it comes to events, when it comes to renewal, when it comes to part exchanging their car. Now we carry out, it's all data driven. And, you know, there was thousands of systems to, maybe exaggerate slightly. I think we had 100 when we looked at it, systems to log into in the automotive world. All I wanted to receive really is like a summary of, this is how many messages have been sent, this is how many appointments have been booked, this is this is the daily activity. And that's what we provide to dealerships as CarBuddy, is that communication report in the evening. What do? We carry out data-driven messaging threads. So when they come in for the inquiry, if they haven't been spoken to for 5 days, we'll look at the notes, we'll contact that customer. After 5 days, if they haven't been contacted by someone on site again, we'll then look to contact them after 7 days and continue that flow. The same is if they're lost sold by the business, we'll then keep in contact with them for 90 days after.
Yeah.
If they buy a vehicle, it's then event, it's then first service, it's then renewal opportunity. And it's giving dealerships that consistency, so that actually what is this database full of customers that, only 1% of them actively get contacted at any one time. What it does is ensures that 100% of them are getting contacted all the time. It's building those relationships for these businesses. It's making customers feel, looked after. And the most important thing, like I say, what do customers want? They want to be communicated in the way they want to be communicated. So WhatsApp, SMS, telephone call, in which we do all of those. And they want the right information, and they want it immediately. And CarBuddy's trained to give immediate AI responses.
Right. Yeah. And look, I mean, our mantra at Imperial 2017-18 was, let the car buy the car the way they want to. There are, controlled processes still exist, but quite frankly, the customer's got so much information at their fingertips now. And I think more and more now, everything that I'm doing is around optimizing your marketing spend, your return on investment. What your dashboard does very well is explain to a dealer very easily what their return on investment is, which is great. But I see it a lot where typically there's lead leakage, and that could be up to 25%. So that's 25% of a dealer's marketing spend is untapped, essentially. And then your point around that part exchange piece potentially, and sort of getting that customer further down the funnel and querying them on the valuation and giving them the option to do a remote assessment all via AI, so that we're getting that customer, you're getting that customer further committed down the funnel, taking away the responsibility from a sales exec to make those multiple calls, and giving them the focus on those highly committed customers, which they can spend the time with.
Right. And it's the same with like email only inquiries, for example. It's now, it's over 30% for a lot of businesses, email only. If you turn around to a sales exec and give them an email only inquiry, they'll probably drop them one email and then they'll be on the lost sale pile. They
Yeah.
won't drop them 7 or 8 emails consistently throughout the course of a 2-month period in order to engage that customer,
Well, that's right.
and that's
And
what
no
it's all
matter
about.
how, yeah, no matter how good the CRM is in terms of diary management, it is down to that sales exec to get on and do that part of the job. It's down to the sales manager to monitor that. And with the best will in the world and the challenges that are out there today, as we've said, that's not going to happen 100% of the time. We'd be lucky if it happens 50% of the time, right? So dealers are spending inordinate amounts of money, more and more money on marketing. It's costing them more and more money to fund those vehicles. It's costing them more and more money the day as the days in stock roll on. And basically they're getting squeezed both ends in sourcing, in marketing. So there's got to be a way to optimize that marketing spend and automate as much as possible of that lead handling to get to that committed customer so we're not acting as busy fools within the showroom.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that it's sometimes, I mean, it's got to sometimes be frustrating to work in the marketing department. I mean, they might spend all this money on, on this imagery or these videos or getting these customers to inquire, and then you look at the inquiry on a CRM system, and it's been one attempted contact, and it's nothing else after that, or again, it's like the customer's been tried to be called, at 11 a.m. for 5 days solid, and of course, customers don't always just want those, to be called nonstop. They, nowadays, I mean, WhatsApp is by far is used twice as much as a telephone call for communication. But when you actually look at what do sales executives, service advisors do, they pick up the phone. And yes, I remember 10, 15 years ago, it was always, we'll pick up the phone, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. Customers don't communicate like that anymore. It's just not the way it is. And yeah, it's like you say, when it comes to marketing spend, it's a real default mechanism. Oh, we haven't got enough inquiries. Let's spend more on
Yeah.
marketing. And that's not necessarily the solution. It's if you've got 2,000 people in your database, how can you re-engage with those customers, your local customers? How can you, work on that retention piece? How can you build business for the long term, and how can you keep it fluidly coming in,
Yeah, definitely,
That's
definitely.
it.
Great. So look, let's look forward a little bit. If there's anything you can speak about, and you may not be able to, but what exciting projects, partnerships, or innovations can we look forward to now and into the future from CarBuddy?
I mean, um, Yeah, I mean, we've got a phenomenal communication center piece, which is like a real omni-channel communication piece. So this is 24/7 inbound calls, whereby it's plugged into the database. It's 24/7 SMS, 24/7 WhatsApp. So we're moving really into taking over that kind of communication center, contact center piece for a full two-way AI generated communication with alerts that are sent to sales managers, the alerts that are sent to service managers, which is a phenomenal bit of work that we're doing. We've engaged with 2 businesses that have got, one's got over 80 dealerships, one's got over 100 dealerships. So a phenomenally great bit of work that we're doing. I mean, it's always in a phased approach. We work hard to ensure that the benefit is gradual, and how they embrace the software is gradual as well. So that's really, really exciting. And then it's also, I think it's great to see like that machine learning aspect. So the product is building and only getting better over time. So it's nice to see those statistics rising. In regards to CRM integrations, we in the final stage of about only 10% of CRMs out there that we're working a way to integrate with. So 90% of them we're fully integratable. So again, that's fantastic. So it's really about, and also Neil, it's our pricing piece now as well. It's like pay for engagement, pay for additional inquiry, and that's how we operate, which again is phenomenal for these businesses. And it's about letting people focus on what people are good at as well. Sales executives don't want to be sending 50 emails. They don't want to be re-engaging with lost sales from a year ago, from 6 months ago, whatever it might be. They want to be seeing people face to face. They want to be making sure their handover looks okay. They want to be, all that type of great stuff that people are amazing at. Let conversational AI do all of the work in between. Don't sit there demotivated trying to put together emails. And yeah, so it's a really exciting time for us, and there's so much going on, Neil. It's unheard of, uh, but it's great at the same time, and it's great to see the forward-thinking businesses out there. Operationally, there's a real scare factor. People go, "Oh no, we only deal with the big companies that have the big name, and Roger down the road works with them and whatever else." But actually, the businesses that are really taking that 1% net profit, up and up and up, is the businesses that are innovating and really embracing conversational AI for what it is. And and it's interesting to see such a divide in businesses actually. Just good.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think the fact is that when you talk about AI, especially in our industry, there's the fear that it's going to mean reductions in staffing, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, it's more of a transition of effort, really, from, as you said, let's get these sales execs doing what they do well. Let's get them talking to customers, interacting with customers in the showroom. More people are coming back to the showroom now. Give them the time to introduce value-add products and upsell those products to consumers, which are valuable products for the consumer as well, and generate more revenue. It's not about let's try and get the headcount down. It's about making sure the headcount you've got is directed in the right area and starts to deliver more profit per unit, more, a quicker stock turn, faster stock turn, and ultimately more profit. So it's good to hear you say that, in terms of there's definitely a place for sales teams still. And it's just focusing them on those areas where they can add that real value.
Definitely. And I think, if you say to a head of business, a divisional director, an operations director, we're going to bring you more inquiries, we're going to look after more of your customers, we're going to bring you greater levels of retention, that doesn't indicate to me replacing staff. That indicates to me we might need more staff, or it means our staff will have more time to look after inquiries or whatever it might be, so yeah.
Okay. So look, we're nearing the end of the podcast. Time flies when you're having fun, obviously. So in conclusion, CarBuddy was built by franchises for franchises to give customers what they want immediately and in their preferred format, whilst allowing staff to concentrate on customers in the showroom. Elliot, I've really enjoyed our chat today, and thank you for taking the time to take us through the services that CarBuddy offers. Before I let you go, however, we need to clear up the icebreaker question for our viewers. So, which of the three interesting facts was in fact false? And before you answer, do not say fact one, because that was when you said you like to help businesses improve.
Yeah. That would be scary, wouldn't it? No, I do. I genuinely do. It's what I've always done. So that is obviously true, right?
True.
Um, and number 2 was the Iron Man, and number 3 was ballroom dancing with the wife. I can't let the wife watch this. Unfortunately, that was what unfortunately, that was the one that was a little bit of a porky that I made up. I do not love ballroom dancing with the wife. In fact, I don't go ballroom dancing with the wife. She might watch this, and I just need her to know that I would consider it. I think I probably would enjoy it. So there you go.
There's
But
a commitment. There's a commitment. And it's on camera
yeah,
now. Well, look, thanks again,
exactly.
Elliot. thanks again for your time today. For more information about CarBuddy, visit the website www.carbuddychat.com or message Elliot directly on LinkedIn. Thank you for watching, and a quick reminder that here at Motorvait, we offer 1 hour remote one-to-one dealer discovery sessions for free. To learn more about these sessions and why you should book one, visit our website www.motorvate.co.uk. Bye for now.